Guys, welcome back to another racing preview here again ahead of tomorrow's racing Saturday. We're back at Moonee Valley tomorrow. Really looking forward to that. One of the great racetracks in the country. We'll also be looking at the meetings of Randwick, and I'll also be doing a best bets video and value bets of the meetings around at Morphettville and also Doomben. So keep an eye out for them. But let's just get straight into it. Moonee Valley tomorrow. At the moment, working with a soft five. A little bit of showers about today, so I think we might be working that soft range, but also keeping a bit of an eye out in case it gets upgraded to that good 4 range. But I'm pretty positive we'll be working with a soft 5. So, look, first race, 1,000 metres for the 3-year-olds, the Seamus Mills Bloodstock Handicap. Some really nice horses presuming here. Really looking forward to this race early. So looking at the speed map early on, I'd say that Memphis Rock and Assateer will probably find the front. I'd say about Alberg shows the sort of speed that it showed us in its first preparation. It'll be towards the speed lead as well. Look, for me, I've got to go with the recent form. It's number 3, Memphis Rock. I think this horse has really been running nicely. It had a real nice soft kill win at Pakenham on the synthetic against the older horses last time out. Was a really nice win. It just sat on speed, did it nice and easily. So prior to that, was only 4.1 lengths off enforcement. The form out of that race is sensational. And then prior to that, it was ran around behind Missile Mantra at Caulfield in a 2-year-old race, and it was 1 point lengths off Curry Rupp at Morphettville in a Group 3. So I mean, looking at some good form lines there. I mean, let's not discount that. And I think that last time out, a lot of people might just see that there's a maiden synthetic win and may not add too much merit to it, but I'm pretty sure. I think $4.60 is a good price to take about this. We know it's fresh and it'll have that bit of race fitness on these, and I think it'll outpace them. I do have number 2, Alberg, on top. I think this is the best horse of the race. Just a little bit of a query on the long spell, how it's come back. I think it might need this run first up, but it definitely be in the winning chance to be close enough to go close. I do like number 1, Assaterin, for third. I think this horse, again, will also be on speed, be able to find the rail more than likely. Two recent wins have been quite good, being Lemur Celtique and Dry Creek Road on the Pakenham and Ballarat synthetics, respectively. Obviously, a big step up in class here, so I'd say it'll box on and finish on nicely. And number 4 is Skidor. Now, this horse was stepped up into a deep class here where took on Rubasaki at Flemington over the 400 metres. Comes right back here, so it goes from racing over 1,200 metres, 400 metres, right back to 1,000 metres. So a bit of a sharpener here. So interesting choice there. And it gets barrier 1, so Ollie might be able to box seat this horse right behind. It might get a good crack at him late, and is definitely within a good chance. But I do like number 3, Memphis Rock, on top in the first at Moonee Valley. I like number 2 at Alberg for second. In for third, I like number 1, Assateer, and in for fourth, number 4, Skidor. Race number 2, 3-year-old fillies race over the 1,000 metres. Now, this is a very, very good race. A lot of good a crop of last year's 2-year-olds racing around here, resuming ahead of spring. Look at the speed map. Look, it's going to be that much speed on this race. Always is in 1,000-metre races, but a lot of these like to find forward. I'd say Rumble Doll and Sea Tonic from the outside. They'll try and spear out and get across the field. I'd say Absolute Flirt will boot up, as will Mockery. And then Tarry F, but Jettastar's shown a lot of speed. Mystical Pursuit will obviously want to hold the rail on the inside, so stacks of speed in this. And look, I have gone one of runners on the speed. I'd say number 3, Jettastar. I've just loved its recent jump out. It's been really impressive. This horse is in some great form. Obviously, it went up the straight at Flemington, fresh on 1,000 metres, so we know it can do that. Happy to take with that. And then it was only beaten a length by Catch Me in the Blue Diamond Prelude. Then Lloyd Campbell took it into the Group 1 at Flemington, where it was beaten by Time that occasion up the straight, went round at massive odds. But that was Jettastar taking up at going up against the older horses, and I thought it was a pretty brave effort, and shows that Kennel has a bit of thought behind this, and he does think it's a good chance tomorrow. So very happy to have it on top to beat number 7, Andrassy Avenue. Now, I'm not forgetting this horse, because they will, if they overdo it out front, which they more likely will, this horse can finish right over the top of them late. Obviously, looking at 2 back, it was in that Catch Me race that Jettastar was in, the Blue Diamond Prelude. Then it went and smashed its rivals at Moonee Valley, where it swooped around the field and beat them brilliantly. That Mocker was in that race, so it subsequently faces here again. But that was a sensational win, and then it obviously came out in the Blue Diamond. It was only 3 lengths off live, which is not bad. So I do like this horse in for second. I think they will overdo out front. I might be able to swoop around him and get over the top of them late. look, I do like number 8, Rumble Doll. It's right down to 52 kilos with Michael Poy's 2 kilo claim. Obviously, it's got to, as I mentioned, get from the outside barrier across into a good position. But this horse was sensational last day over the 1,000 metres. Just absolutely run them off their legs at Sandown. It was on a heavy track, so we know it will get through the wet going. Obviously, we'll have a soft track. But this horse will take a power beating. I'd say if it gets across into the lead or just sits outside the speed, it'll give a great sight. And then in for fourth, I do like number 1, Absolute Flirt. I think that Oliver might be able to get this in a good spot. Obviously beat Tara F, who it faced in this race last prep, and then it went to Morpheville, won well there, and then was only beaten by 0.3 length by Lil Contra. So we'll just sit behind the speed, and we'll get a good chance to get into the race late. It's another cracking race early. The first 2 races sensational at Moonee Valley. So recap the numbers. Number 3, Jetta Star on top, to beat number 7, Andrassy Avenue in for third. Number 8, Rumble Doll in for fourth. Number 1, Absolute Flirt. Race number 3 tomorrow, Phillies Medge benchmark 84 over the 1,600 metres. Ladbrokes, back yourself handicap. Look at the speed map here. I'd say Catching Beams will try and find the rail from that barrier 2. Shady Hustle will be prominent. So I'd say Town 2 might be able to get across and get into a prominent spot. Miss Bandito will probably boot forward as well. So a little bit of speed in this race. Look, I was that impressed with the win of number 6, Paint the Town 2 last time out at Sandown. It was a terrific win. It just sat behind the speed and really did run on really well. Just got over the top of them later. I see it getting a really good run here in the race. Should be able to just swoop out around them and get over the top late. Obviously, a lot of these are stepping up in distance. This horse now, with Teo Nugent's claim, we only carry 51.5 kilos, so it comes in really nicely at the weights. In for second, number 11, Chris and Cry, Lockie King, 2 kilo claim, brings in to 52 kilos. This horse chased down Broken Treaty last time out, was finished just narrowly in behind it, who it faces here again, but gets a huge weight swing. Carried 61 kilos on that occasion. I'm going to carry 52 tomorrow. Has the inside barrier, so we're interested to see what Lockie King decides to do here, and where it gets up, it gets in a prominent spot, or just in mind speed, or rides back and tries a bit of luck to swoop around them if they ever do it out front. So just that little bit of a query on where it will land in the race, but I do think it'll be a natural improvement off the back of last start with the massive weight swing on number 9 Broken Treaty. In for third, I do have number 8, Catching Beams. I think this horse, of the on-speed runners, will be hard to beat. Jerome Hunter loves this track. A lot of his runners just win at Moonee Valley. They're very, very hard to catch and hard to run down, and I think this horse will do the same here. It just sort of faded out at the heavy last time out at Cranbourne. Comes back on the soft going, which it much prefers, I think. It doesn't want it to be too heavy on the track, so it'll be a natural improvement. Obviously, Jess Eaton's 3 kilo claim brings down 51, so carrying barely any weight on its back either. And in for fourth, I do like number 5, Lucky Wick. I think this horse is playing a bit of overs. If they ever do it out front, this horse might be able to finish over the top of them late. It really did charge nicely to finish just behind Paint the Town 2 last time out. So if I'm going to have it on top, I've got to have Lucky Wick in there for a chance. Obviously, 3 wins on for 3 up from heavy. So if we get into that deeper soft range, I might give it a bit more of a chance. But while we work at a soft 5, I'm happy to have it in for fourth. So just recap the numbers on race number 3. I do like number 6, Paint the Town 2 on top to beat number 11, Kiss and Cry. In for third, I like number 8, Catching Beams. And in for fourth, number 5, Lucky Wick. Race number 4 over the mile, open race here. Look at the speed map here. I'd say Elite Drake will land on the speed. Kentucky Breeze, Travis, my friend, might just sit in behind her and get a nice run into the race. And really not a lot of speed. Hunter Mason might get forward from the barrier next to Elite Drake. But yeah, not a lot of speed in this race at all. And for me, I'm really keen to have number 7, Kentucky Breeze on top. I think this horse will just sit in behind the speed. Its win last time out at Flemington was sensational. It just held off Organza on that occasion. It was a really good run. Doesn't mind the soft going, which we'll get here. Obviously, got last time out. It's really got great stats at this distance over the mile, so I'll give it a really good chance to win. Look, I was very keen on Travis, my friend, last week. 7-day back up here, runs at the Valley. Again, it's going to get another beautiful run. It's going to be right in the finish, and there's a great chance in this race. Also, loves the soft going, as I mentioned, so really good push for it as well. So I'm really happy to have those 2 on top. I think they'll be hard to beat. Number 9, Elite Drake, though, will give them something to catch on speed. And I wouldn't mind having something each way on this horse, to be honest. Look, I'm going to be kind of backing Kentucky Breeze Bob. I'm going to have something each way on this horse, Elite Drake, just because it loves to have a win at this Moonee Valley track. And the soft going stats are elite. So 9 starts for 5 wins, 4 placings. So you really, and each way bet at $9.50 and $12.90 is really good value. I'm very happy to have it in the numbers. I'll definitely be having something each way on it as well. So Steph Thornton gets a 2 kilo claim, brings it down to 52 kilos. I think if we have a bet on it and have something on Kentucky Breeze, we'll come out a winner there. So I'm really happy to back it as well in for third. And in for fourth, look, number 1 Packardali's been travelling okay. Was pretty good last time out at Flemington. Was just been average, but this horse I think we're getting a pretty nice run. Should be too far behind him. We'll be able to finish off well late. So just recap the numbers on race number 4 over the mile. I like number 7 Kentucky Breeze on top to beat number 6 Travie My Friend. In for third, number 9 Elite Drake, but as I mentioned, really happy to have something each way on it based off the soft track stats and the fact that it'll get an easy time and the speed. And number 1 Packardali in for fourth. Race number 5, 1500 metre benchmark 70 race here. Look at the speed map here. There's a stack of it. I'd say Vunges and Oldsman will try and hit the lead. I'd say some of the inside horse off the inside barriers of Life of Waldo and I Boogie will be trying to be prominent from their inside barriers. I'd say Full of Theories will get forward out of barrier 9. Spring Tycoon, if it runs, will get across on the outside barrier. Also with Snipes trying to be prominent. So just a stack of speed in this, and I think it'll set up really. Look, I'm always hesitant to go back markers at Moonee Valley. Obviously, it hasn't been the greatest hunting ground for the swoopers, but here I do think this horse might have a little bit of a chance to swoop over top of them late. It's number 16 Diplomat Jacks. It's first up here. The blinkers are off for the first time. Doesn't mind the soft tracks. Had one placing on the surface, but just think that this horse might be able to get over the top of them late. Obviously, 1500 metres is a pretty good distance range. Johnny Allen is on. And so I just think that they'll massively overdo this out front. This horse might be able to swoop right over the top and down the outside and finish over the top of them to win this race. Ahead of number 10 Trigger Point, who's absolutely flying at the moment. This horse might sit just in behind them and get a really good run off barrier 3. The beat Shot of Irish last time out at Sandown on the hillside track. It's in a weaker class here. I mean, it's going from benchmark 78 back to the benchmark 70. And it still comes in well at the weights with Tao Nugent's claim, bringing it down to 57 kilos. So got to give this horse a great chance to win. In for third, I like number 7 Olsfin. I thought this horse was okay when beaten by Special Diva. It was a really rain affected going on that occasion, but prior to that it was really good winning at Mornington. I do like to weigh up the Mornington and Moonee Valley form lines because the tracks they're not necessarily similar, but you get that long sort of straight down the side and then where they can range up and then they swoop round and get the short straight home. So I am pretty keen to have number 7 Alsford in for third. And in for fourth, I do like the chances of number 12 Snipes. It's got the barrier 10 to deal with, but if it can get some cover, I think this horse will run a nice race. It's stepping right back in class at Racing Listed Company last time out the VRC Winter Championship over the mile. Then prior to that was only 0.2 length off Elite Drake, so we'll get a good form reference there with Elite Drake going around in the previous. So just recap the numbers on race number 5. I do like number 16 Jip Mac Jack on top at a bit of odds if they can swoop over top of them late. Number 10 Trigger Point in for second, in for third number 7 Olsfin, and in for fourth number 12 Snipes in a very open race. Race number 6, the 2500 metre race, benchmark 78 here. Looking at the speed map, I'd say that there'll be a few that will get forward. I'd say Kalala will try and get forward off the inside barrier. San Remo usually is forward in its races. Social Element will try and spear across on the outside, as will Miramar and the Statesman. So a little bit of speed in this. But look, I'm quite keen to have number 1, the Statesman, on top here. I thought it was a good return last time out after failing at Flemington the start prior. It was only just beaten by Lord Belvedere by 2 lengths. I think Lord Belvedere is a superstar. This horse will be sitting around the speed, maybe just in behind, and should get a really nice run into a race. Tao Nugent's 3 kilo claim brings down 61. He's got a good book of rides, Tao. I've got him on in a lot of my numbers, so really looks to be on for a good day. But I'm happy to have it on top to beat number 2 Social Element, who this horse, Stevie Bass is a great front riding rider. This horse comes back from the Queensland Cup, of course, up there at Eagle Farm, where it was beaten by Azura on that occasion. But that was over 3,200 metre steps, right back to the 2,500. It might just have the fitness on its side to outrun these if they leave alone in front, and it'll give a really good side at $10 and $2.80 the place. So I'm happy to back both of those two, and I think we'll get a good result there if we get back the Statesman for the win and Social Element each way in behind them. And I also think as a bit of overs is number 3 Bling Dynasty for Paul Prushka in this race. This horse is coming here third up. Sorry, just grab that back up again. Louis German gets a 3 kilo claim, bringing it down to 57 kilos. Sorry, I'm thinking of a different runner. It's not third up, but it's coming off a 1.1 third behind Street Chic last time out at Morphettville over the 1800 metres. And prior to that was only beaten half length by Be Tempted in 2050 metre race at Morphettville. So this horse been around the mark the last 3 starts, has missed a place, doesn't mind the rain affected going, and has won 2 times at this track from 6. So I think it'll give a decent upside, especially if they overdo it out front. Might be able to finish over the top of them late, but I'm more like it for the place. And then in for fourth, look, this horse is in a lot of form at the moment. Number 6, More Than Ever, and I think it's a great chance. Just a bit worried about barrier 2, to be honest. But its last win start win at Morphettville on the Parks track was sensational. Finishing over the top with Good Idea is not a bad horse. And prior to that, it was beat Buskers Ballard pretty well at over 2,000 metres. This horse is in a bit of form. It'll be finishing on late. Loves the soft going. 7 starts for 3 wins and 2 placings. So I really am keen to have it on. I just wish it drew a bit of a better gate, but I still think it'll be running into the race late. So recap the numbers on race number 6. I like number 1, The Statesman on top to beat number 2, Social Element. In for third, number 3, Bling Dynasty. And in for fourth, number 6, More Than Ever. Race number 7 over 2,040 metres here, open race. Look at the speed map here. Stacksford, I'd say. Inverlock will get forwards. Masculino will definitely be prominent off the inside barrier. I'd say Dylan's Romance will spear across on the outside. So a little bit of speed in this race, and I think they might overdo it out front, really open the door for number 10, Twilight Run, who was one of my best bets a few weeks ago at Flemington, and boy did he salute for us. He was sensational, finishing over top of him late at Flemington. Look, the only query is this horse does sometimes take a bit to wind up, so the Moonee Valley track coming here for the first time might be a little bit of a query, but I think this horse got a lot of upside, and it's a really good horse that's going place. And if they overdo it, as I said, this horse is really well weighted at 54, and it should be able to swing right to the outside and finish power over top of them late. I have it ahead of number 7, Bedford. I've got a lot of time for. Again, another one that I tipped on top at Caulfield a few weeks ago, and it saluted really nicely as well, being exasperated on that occasion. It was a benchmark 90 race on that occasion, and obviously Seps now comes into an open race here. But I think it's a great chance. So again, I think they'll overdo it out front. I might be able to just get past, swing around them late. Along with the Twilight Run, they'll finish over the top of them and finish 1-2. Look, I am really query number 4, Masculino. It'll obviously use the inside barrier. It loves the wet going and loves running here at Moonee Valley. It's had 4 starts this track for a win and 2 placings. It was only just narrowly beaten last time out by Cars Off, and prior to that by Second Board. So it's really been around the mark. I'd say I'll be in the placings once again here. Number 4, Masculino. And if for fourth, I like number 4, El Galeo. Now, obviously, this horse is well documented that doesn't like rain affected going, but the soft 5 track's not too bad. If we get that good 4 range, I'll be putting it up. This horse has won 2 from 2 at the track, and has 4 starts at the distance for 2 wins and a placing. So third up here, I can see a lot of improvement from number 3, El Galeo. It's just got to deal with barrier 11. If it didn't have barrier 11, I would have given it a much better chance. I see it being in a sticky spot in the run. So recapping the numbers on race number 7, I like number 10, Twilight Run on top to beat number 7, Bedford. In for third, number 4, Masculino, and in fourth, number 3, El Galeo. Race number 8, 1200 metre, benchmark 84 here. Look at the speed map here. It's a stun of it, I'd say. Olon Star off the inside will get forward. Age of Chivalry, base off its jump out will get forward. Rocks the Castle. Arrow Lane off barriers 4 and 5 will be forward. I'd say Tavasan will try and spear across on the outside. So there's a lot of speed in this. But look, I do think that it will set up really nice for number 11, Usain Bowler. I was really impressed with its first up run at Flemington. Absolutely charged home late over the 1,000 metres. And second up stats are excellent. Soft track stats are excellent. It's had 2 starts at the track for 1 win, 1 placing. 4 starts on soft for 1 win, 2 placings. And second up, 2 starts, 1 win and a third. Sorry, there's a lot of stats there. But this horse, look, I think weak at grade. Really well in weights, 57 kilos. Mark Zara in the saddle. Really good each way bet for me. Stepped up to the 1,200 metres. All finish over the top of them late. But of the on-speed runners, I think number 9, Tavisan, will give a good sight. This horse obviously was excellent winning at Sandown, beating Spirit of Aquata. It's a really good resuming run over the 1,000 metres, 1,200 metres. Suits it much better. It's going to run nicely again here, I would say. Just got to get across in barrier 11 and find a spot not too wide. If for third, I do like number 13, Age of Chivalry. I really like this horse's jump outs leading into this. They've been really impressive. It looks really sharp and it looks like it's come back well. I know it did win over 1,200 metres last preparation, being No Drama Darcy, who really went on with it from there, and Sunrise Dancer, Sandown. But for me, I think probably the 1,400 metres will suit a bit better, as we saw with when it was just beaten by Mr. Quickie in the Inevitable at Flemington in 2 starts. But this horse has come back sharp, and it'll definitely be in the placings, I would say. So I've got him for third. In fourth, number 7, Rocks the Castle. This horse loves running at Moonee Valley. It's had 2 starts on the track for 2 wins. It's a real fresh horse, loves running fresh. As I beat by Queen last time out fresh, and then won it really impressively by 3.3 lengths at Moonee Valley after that. So this horse will definitely be well in the finish as well. So recap of the numbers on race number 8. I like number 11, Usain Bowler, on top to beat number 9, Tavisan in for second. In for third, number 13, Age of Chivalry. And in for fourth, number 7, Rocks the Castle. Race number 9, 1,000 metres, benchmark 78. Look at the speed map here. Again, 1,000 metre race. You always got lots of it, but this has got stacks as well. Non-payer off the inside will spear out more onto it. It's usually prominent. Definia, Forbidden Not will get out of barrier 4 and 5. So freeze over. A Centurion might try and get across the outside barrier. Condor Hero is usually pretty prominent. So just stacks of speed in this. And for me, look, I do think they'll overdo it. Again, it's a bit of a query go on these back markers here, but I do think that this horse will run a nice race, and it's number 15, Freeze Over. Now, this horse will hit the front. Sorry, I'm getting to my second selection, which will be coming off the back. Number 15, Freeze Over, will definitely be on the speed. So looking at the back of this horse loves running at Moonee Valley. It's got Linda Meach on the saddle. She's obviously a great front running rider, but I'm really worried about the gate. But $8 I think is a really good price to take. I think if it comes back like it did last preparation here at Moonee Valley and runs those sorts of sectionals, it'll run really well here and be proven hard to beat against this field. If a second, I do like the chances of, hang on when I can get it loaded, was Exaltara for the Allerton Zara team. Just having a look at what number that was. I was going to switch over here. So anyway, Exaltara is resuming here coming into this race, and as I said, if they overdo it in the speed, it might just be able to finish over the top of them late. So I like it in for second. Here we go, we're back on. Sorry about this. Yeah, so sorry. So Exaltara is race is number 4. Sorry, and Damien Lane, who's obviously back across from Japan, he's going to be in the saddle. Has barrier 16, but just got to drop in behind them and might be able to finish over top of them late if they overdo it, like I said. And then in for third, I like number 7, Condor Hero. I thought this horse's recent jump out was really sharp. Obviously, it's a bit of a hard horse to take based off last preparation. It was a bit disappointing, but I do think this horse has a bit of ability and it could show it here, so I'm not going to leave it out of my numbers in for third. In for fourth, I want to take a horse at a bit of odds here, and it's number 3, Aloof. I thought this horse was really good a couple of starts ago at Sandown, and then it was a good again 2 starts ago when it was just beaten by Tavisan, so we obviously get a good form reference out of that with the race prior. Look, it was a bit out of it going up the straight at Flemington, but that was in much tougher company, so it comes back in grade here, and I think it's paying huge odds. So looking at $31 odds at the moment, $8.50 to place, so you can definitely not go a lot worse than that. So happy to have it in for fourth. So recap the numbers on race number 9. I do like number 15, Freeze Over, on top to beat number 4, Exaltara. In for third, number 7, Condor Heroes, and in for fourth, number 3, Aloof. So that's the preview of Moonee Valley tomorrow. Good luck if you're playing, if you're following. Been flying recently, building up a pretty good bank from the midweek, and we're going to continue on again tomorrow. So keep an eye out for my Randwick and Morphettville and Doomben videos, and thanks for watching and happy punting.